Good afternoon. This is November 21st, Tuesday 2023, and we are in MA second semester. Creative non-fiction class, which has a subtitle Voices from the Margin. And this is the first class after Dasai and Tihar vacations, Chhat vacations also. And before our Dasai and Tihar vacations started, in the last class I remember, you asked me, Divakar sir, tell us how to attempt a rhetorical analysis. And what I did was, all of a sudden, I still, maybe the same is there. We wrote about 25 questions randomly. And we said that in the vacation, try to read any essay and see if you can find an answer to these 25 questions in that essay. And this morning, I checked my email account, and what I found was, let me show you student term papers. So these are the assignments that I've got so far. So what I want to teach you, look here, memoir about my mother. I know who has done this. So what you should do it, like write student name, your name, then title of the assignment, the title, this one. Then do you sub briefly, to whom are you submitting? Then MA second, then CDE Tues. This is a very clear naming of the file. Now we know the student who has done assignment, we know the title of the assignment, so I can easily know which assignment. Now we know to whom is it addressed, to me. Mistakenly, he might send other teacher's assignment to me, I'll know. Then which class, MA second, then where, CDE Tues. Okay, so next time when you send assignments, try to name them like this. Even in future, when you do communication with anybody, name your assignments clearly, or anything, name them clearly. So I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 assignments so far. And among these 9, let me open all, and then wait a minute, I'll open all. Okay. Okay. This one, for example, I don't know who has done this, but this is a better one. I'll appreciate, because we had given you the questions and I see that this student, for example, what is the theme of the unit in your curriculum in which you find the essay? So the theme of this unit in our curriculum in which you find the essay is people, places, and environment, right? You could also write briefly. Then what is the title of the text? Then you have Night Owl. And I see that this student has done so far, let's check, 4 questions, 5, 6, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 17, 20. We don't need to ask who has done it. No, we don't need that. So we have got 20 questions with 20 answers, right? And then I see below this student has also done to a new essay by Tues by Roland Barthes. I'm afraid that Barthes' text Tues might be a theoretical text, I don't know. Mostly rhetorical analysis is well suited for non-fiction essays. Rhetorical analysis is well suited for non-fiction essays more than fictional essays. There is a reason, because rhetorical analysis takes you outside the text. See, in rhetorical analysis, you have the text, right? And then you have to look for the context, right? And mostly you will see that non-fictional writings have more context, social context, political context, kairos. So rhetorical analysis is often done better with non-fictional arguments or non-fictional texts. If there is a completely imaginative poem, you can do rhetorical analysis, no doubt. Somebody gave me a missed call. Let me check what happened. Very quick, short missed call. And I got disturbed, right? Look, I was teaching you, and that's why I shouldn't keep my phone on. Oh, I can't answer this question. It's just a reminder to take food on time, right? Just she gave me a missed call to remind me, have you eaten the food or not? Just, I understand it. Okay. So, now here she applies theme, she writes, I don't know whether it's she or he, title, subject matter, writer. Now go, okay. Then I see that this student has answered 17 questions, right? Now what you do, look here, how you develop. This is the first draft. Here you say, what is the theme of the unit in which you find this essay? Now, you develop this sentence into a paragraph now. Now, the theme of the unit is cultural analysis in which we find this essay. Now, right, this essay occurs in a unit which is titled as cultural analysis, and by cultural analysis we understand that. Now you develop into a paragraph. I gave you a question. You came up with the answer in one sentence. Now develop this single sentence into 4-5 sentences. Now this sentence you have the main idea. Now supply some details and develop into paragraph. So once you develop into paragraph, right now you have 17 sentences. In the next draft you revise, you will have 17 paragraphs. If these 17 sentences cover, let's say, 6 pages here, they have done 2 versions, 3 pages, let's say 3 pages. If 17 paragraphs occupy 3 pages, so 70 sentences, 3 pages, if you develop them into 17 paragraphs, there will be at least 9 pages. So your half worry is gone. Your worry is, oh God, what to do? Divakar sir says 5 to 7 pages. So how to stretch it 7 pages? You have 10 pages. So now you are dukkha. If nothing happens, I'll throw these 10 pages to sir and sir will revise. So what did I teach you? Now, for those who have not done like this, answer my questions first in one sentence. Then leave the page for one night below the pillow. Sleep, relax, forget. After 24 hours, come back and read those answers. And add details to your answers and develop those single sentences into single paragraphs. In the next revision, try to see if the paragraphs have interconnections or not. Use transitional phrases to connect paragraphs. And send it to me. I'll also add my feedback, and that will guide you. Okay. Now, another thing to tell you here, let me I think here it is, yes. So I found one, I have tried to hide the name of the student. Okay, because you said this is a first draft, and I accept that, but I'll say that because you have already done some kind of term paper writing in first semester, so I will say that even your first draft should show your teacher that you have some knowledge about term paper writing. For example, in your first draft, I expect you to know at least the format of the front page. For example, in this example, look, the student writes his name first or her name, then second semester, then we have the title. Then the essay starts. Okay, fine, because this is a rough draft, I accept. But what you should do is, you should go like this, for example. Look here. So in your draft, you write your name first, right? Your name. It's blurred? It's not visible? So I should remove the highlighting color light? We can't make clearer than this. Is it visible now? I don't know, but it's because the lens is worn out. The lens of this projector is worn out. The lens has a life, how many cycles you can use it, right? And I see that it is worn out. And that's why we are not able to make a clearer display for you. Okay, let me make it bigger for you, maybe.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So your name, double space, instructor's name. For example, what's your name, sir? Huh? Kushal Purasaini. Okay. Now, what's your instructor's name? What is the course title? ENGL561. Course code ENGL56. Voices from the margin. Then date. If you submit today, right? And then, as you saw earlier in the next other examples, for example, let me open one more paper. Okay. For example, okay, this title is in the center, right? A rhetorical analysis of Changra Lee's essay Coming Home Again in the center. And then now you start the paper. There's some basic things like margins. You leave 1 inch margin all around, top 1 inch, bottom 1 inch, right 1 inch. Now for these things, I won't tell you these things. What you should do is, for example, here is a book. You can get soft copy or hard copy of this book. You can you can buy one from the local shop, or you can buy one online, or you can see if you can read online. So you should consult MLA Handbook 9th edition. For example, if you go to the table of content and check what is there, quickly let's have a quick look. Look here. So you have information about in the very beginning there is formatting of your research project. Previously they used to write research paper. Now they write research project, because you may have dissertation for PhD or thesis for MA or research paper, research article, term paper. So you have like margins. Now the good thing about this PDF file is that if you put the cursor on this word and click, it directly takes you to that section. For example, look here, now you are in that section. The books have become interactive today. So that's the benefit of reading a PDF file. You don't have this facility in a paper book, right? So, okay. So you have the margins. Oh God, where will we be reading? Okay. So I'll quickly take you through the table of content only, because I am not going to teach you this book here now. Maybe you supposedly studied this book in first semester in academic writing paper. Because if you check academic writing curriculum in one unit, this is prescribed.
We were asked to read it. We were asked to read it.
Okay. Your teacher might have asked you to read, and if you are honest, you read. Right? Okay. So you have margin, text formatting, title, running head and page number, the internal headings and subheadings, placement of the list of works cited. For example, this is page 5. Okay, wait a minute. Look here. Works cited list is given there. Look the sample there. Now you can easily know 1 inch margin, then 1 inch margin, center, works cited, W capital, C capital, just Svensson, the name of the student, writer, half inch margin, then page number, then last name, first name, last name, comma, first name, and then the title of the essay, the book where this essay is given, then if there are more volumes, volume, number, right, and then you have the time when this was published, this journal or volume, then the container where this was published, and the online, if you got it online, the online access, right? Then so what I will say, as you write my term paper, if you have any confusion about design, format, these kind of things, first check here. And if it is helpful, do it. If not, consult me. Okay? Do not consult me at first. First, consult the book. If possible, do on your own. If you cannot do on your own, then consult the teacher. Okay? Okay. Now, with this, I want to move to my essay. Do you have any question to ask me about term paper writing? I showed you an example of one student who has written questions and answers. Only one I've got. And I said, do the same to you all. Choose the essay, read the essay first, because nothing happens without reading at the university. At the university, every academic project begins with reading. If you can't read, if you don't read, you can do nothing. I repeat, if you can't read, if you don't read, you can do nothing. So first, choose the essay, read it once, twice, understand, take my help, Google, and once you feel you have understood the essay, then now go to the questions I gave you. and one by one answer. Who is the writer? Answer. Who is the writer? Answer. Who is the audience? Answer. What are the appeals? Logical, ethical, emotional? Answer. And make the first, don't worry about correctness. You don't have to write correctly. Try, attempt, and submit me. I'll go through it, and if there are something wrong, I'll advise you how to correct it. Okay? Any questions you want to ask me? Now, yes.
So are we to provide citations also?
Yes. In your rhetorical analysis paper, you are supposed to provide citations. In-text citations are like, for example, if you use MLA handbook anywhere, then in a bracket you will write the last name of the author or publisher, and then you will write the page number, for example. And if you go to MLA book, you can easily just, if it's difficult for you to read MLA, just go to MLA website and just ask how to write citations, and they will answer you. Today we have online support. Even Chat GPT does that. Even Microsoft is Bing AI tool does that. Take all help you have and do it. Okay. So any other questions before I move to the essay? Okay, now I'll move to the essay. Okay. So if you had a time, ignore it. What I do is, to learn correct pronunciation myself, I go online and I find a phonetic transcription of the English, and I try to read from this one, not this one, because when you read from this one, you learn phonetic transcription and your pronunciation becomes improved, and you can also transcribe. Ignore it. You don't need to pay attention. Now what I want to say is that in my YouTube channel, if you remember, one day I have uploaded a video where I read this information about the writer and I analyze, and there I highlight what to note down. For example, if you have good knowledge about the writer and their background, you will better understand the ethical appeal. Because ethical appeal emerges from the character of the writer, from the personality of the speaker. Ethical appeal emerges from the speaker's background, speaker's education, speaker's credentials, certificates, right? And ethical appeal also emerges from logical appeal. If you find that a writer makes very good logic in her essay, then you start believing what the writer is saying. You say, oh, this writer must be convincing. Look how much she has studied and how well she argues. So good reasoning creates ethical appeal. Good logical appeal creates ethical appeal. So I won't go into detail here, and I'll encourage that. I don't know if I have mailed you. Have I mailed you this thing? No? I might mail you if I don't forget. And if I do mail, read it. And if you find the video and time, watch it. What I will say, for example, you know that this author was a poet, right? Now you understand why this essay has a word elegy in the title. Now you understand that, oh, this essayist was a poet also. Look, for example, you know that she was born to Edward William and Helen Walasak in September 10, 1935. So 1935. You just go to Google and in the search bar, write what important events took place, and then where is the place? Where is the place? Let me, Maple Heights, Ohio. Okay, what important events took place in Maple Heights, Ohio in 1930s? Question mark. You'll be surprised that Google will might present you with a chronicle history of the place of that time. And now you have idea what happened in that town when she was writing this essay. This gives you Kairos. What is Kairos? Kairos is the social situation, cultural situation, political situation, economic situation, the events that take place which influence and shape the writing of a piece of writing. The time, right? Okay, then I'll quickly move to the container where this was. Okay, look here, in one interview, look, this so interesting. Let me make it bigger in size. It was pastoral. She's describing, in an interview, she's describing the place where she lived as a child. And when I was reading this, I related to myself because when I was 5 years old, my father was a college principal and we had a principal's quarter, and our quarter had a big area of land, principal's quarter. And it had 4-5 ropani area around with lots of trees and garden. And lots of snakes would come there. I remember. Everywhere I'll see a snake in my childhood. Oh God, yellow colored snakes. And here also she says that when I walked out, snakes came. I could relate. Look here. It was pastoral. It was nice. It was an extended family. Look, I don't know why I felt such an affinity with the natural world. Now, when you read this interview, you understand why this author talks so much about environment. Because she was brought up in a very natural setting. Except that it was available to me, that the first thing, it was right there. And for whatever reasons, I felt those first important connections with nature, those first experiences being made with the natural world rather than with the social world. So in this essay, the essay we are reading is, this essay is a very honest description of the conflict between natural world versus social world. See, right. What's the author's name? Mary Jane Oliver's essay, Wasteland and Elegy, is about the conflict between the natural world and the social world. The necessities that social world creates and how these social necessities have a havoc over the natural world. Right? Then read ahead. Okay, now move quickly. I'll take you very quickly to this background. Then, we further read that this writer, where did I place it? Oh, how absent-minded we become. In an interview with Maria Shriver, Oliver described family as dysfunctional, adding that her childhood was very hard. And when you have family problems, you become introvert and you take refuge in something. And this writer took refuge in painting. She took refuge finally in writing. She says that she became a painter. And she says that even when she became a painter, she did not discover herself. And she says that she truly discovered herself when she took to writing. Right? Then adding that though her childhood was very hard, writing it helped her create her look. The benefit of writing. Do you remember in first semester in academic writing, there was an essay, one essay where the headhunter's rage. Whose essay is it? An anthropologist. Where he says that once me and my wife were walking down a creek and my wife fell, slipped, and she died. Then he says, I was so angry, God, why my wife? And he says, I felt like I wanted to kill someone. Then he says, I started writing so that I would not kill someone. Do you remember? This is the power of writing. If you feel like committing suicide, start writing. You will save life. If you feel like killing someone, start writing. You will not kill them. Writing is a release of intense emotions. That's why Sigmund Freud somewhere compared pen with the penis and ink with ejaculation and said, as we sit down to write as writers, our own energies come out. Writing is expression of innermost desires. Writing is the expression of innermost desires, particularly romantic writing, right? Okay, move ahead. Sorry, I got distracted. But, okay. She had been sexually abused, look, as a child and had experienced recurring nightmares. I was reading this essay and the snake episode, because snakes many times in psychoanalysis, snakes relate with sexual problems. If you see snakes in dream, they have something to do with your sexual disorders, people say. And I was relating with this information. Okay, so I wish we had a platform here to keep this dust easily, right? But who cares? Sometimes I feel like, who cares about education at the university? We do care, right? Sorry to say this thing on camera, right? Sorry to say this thing. Okay, so she began writing poetry, right, at 14, right? And then at 15, she attended music hall. She learned music also, right? So do you see, this author is a poet, she is a musician, she is a writer. Okay, now some more useful things. Yes, she was, look here, she was influenced by Whitman and Thoreau, both very famous writers about nature, Walt Whitman and Thoreau. Then, okay, look, observing natural world and writing presents a new kind of romanticism that refuses to acknowledge boundaries between nature and observing self. You observe the nature and you become one. This is called negative capability. Have you heard this term?
Keystone, right?
Yeah, negative capabilities. At one point, John Keats says that the sun was setting down and the yellow rays fell on the porch and I was in the room. Outside, I could see the sparrow. And then he says, as I looked at the sparrow, I became one with the sparrow. You become one with what you're observing, right? There is no distance between you and the nature you're observing, right? Okay, then what else? Imagery. This essay is remarkable for imagery, right? I'll show you in a while as I take you. Imagery of birds, water snakes. Look, maybe we are talking about the same essay. Yes, let me read you here. So her poems are filled with imagery from her daily walks near the home. In the essay also, she talks about places around her home. She talks about the ocean shore. Then she talks about the birds, water snakes, right? She talks about the moon, humpback whales in the essay also. Okay. Look, very interesting here. Look at this author. Look how he became a writer. She often carried a 3 by 5 inch hand-sewn notebook for recording impressions and phrases. Today we have mobile phone, we can take a snap. Take a diary and always note down. If you see something important, note down, right? Maxine, called Oliver a patroller of the wetland. In that essay we will read, she talks about wetland if you remember. Wetlands in the same way that Thoreau was an inspector of the snowstorms. Her favorite poets were Walt Whitman, Rumi, Hafez, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and P.B. Shelley. Okay, let me show you something more, if useful. Now, I will not, okay, I'll take the essay now. Now, what I did, I have brought some images from Google. And these images are not in the essay, and Marriage and Oliver never intended, but I just wanted to give you a sense of what is coming up in the essay. So, this is a wasteland, you can see. The word wasteland literally means where you throw garbage, the place where you throw garbage. Now we'll read the essay, and what I've done, as I was reading the essays, for every imagery, I Googled and brought pictures. So I decided to translate this essay into images. Because I wanted to see the essay, not read the essay. See the essay. If I was a documentary maker, and if I had a camera and enough money and good team, what kind of series I'll make on this essay? Seeing the essay. So, at our town's old burn dump, this is the old burn dump, where you throw the garbage and they burn, right? So, look the imagery, and you will see that. Can someone tell me the heading of the unit in which this essay is placed? People, places, and environment. So this essay is about people, no doubt, because she will talk about people in the village. She will talk about the growing town people. This essay is about a place, her hometown, which is changing. And this essay is about environment. Actually, this essay is about environmental crisis caused by development, urban development. Environmental crisis brought about by urban development. Right? How development brings environmental problems. Right? So at our town's old burn dump, and please, as you read with a marker, highlight all the images. Highlight images. Because one strong aspect of this essay is imagery. And when a piece of writing depends too much on images, what appeal does it make? La, tha chaina. Sorry for this Nepali. Emotional appeal. Because images appeal to emotion. Emotional appeal occurs through language. Through language. And here you have imagery. At our town's old burn dam, not officially used for years, discarded peppermint and raspberries, look the image, peppermint imagery, and raspberries reconnected their roots to the gravely earth and went on growing. Now look, here is a burn dump, and from the burn dump, plants are growing. So what is she showing? She is showing that nature is invincible. Nature reclaims. Nature reclaims. Burn it, nature will again grow. Look, see the language. Sometimes I feel like I could instill some mantra in you and you become very expert reader all of a sudden. I read some mantra and then do like this, and you become great reader and you read intensely. But reading does not develop with a mantra. Reading develops by reading over years. If you read hard and fast if you read attentively for 1, 2, 3 years, you will gradually grow this ability to read. Okay, so what did I say? She shows how nature reclaims. Read it. A couple of apple trees blossomed. To my personal interest, I just brought picture for every word because I wanted to see. I wanted to recreate the world in which Mary Jane Oliver was living, to feel what she is trying to say. Okay, blossomed and bore each year a bushel of green and bumpy fruit. A bushel of green and bumpy fruit. Blackberries, you can see, drifted up and down the slopes. Thistles. Now I remember when I was a child, I'll take my cows for grazing in the brooks, and the cows will graze, and when we were thirsty, hungry, we'll look for thistles in the ground, and with a stick we'll dig the thistles, and the roots are like very cold and very sweet, and we'll chew them. Have you done that? Thistles. खाएको छ? त्यो खोलाको छेउमा चिसो जमिनमा हुन्छ. Thistles. Look, the roots are so sweet. Bouncing bet, okay. Thistles, bouncing bet, everlasting. This is bouncing bet. This is the flower. You will see, look, flower imagery. See, I just brought these pictures to give you a feeling what images she brings. Bouncing bet, everlasting, golden rod, wild carrot, lifted their leaves and then their flowers and their honeysuckle rafts of seeds. These are the honeysuckle rafts. Honey drips from every word in this essay. If you have the taste buds, if you have the literary taste bud, स्वाद थाहा पाउने क्षमता हुनु पर्यो नि त. साहित्यको स्वाद थाहा पाउनु पनि साहित्यको स्वाद थाहा पाउने क्षमता हुनुपर्छ नि, थाहा पाइन्छ. त्यो क्षमता भएर यसै पढ्यो भने शब्द शब्दमा मह काटे जस्तो हुन्छ, गुलियो मह आउँछ पढ्दाखेरि. नभए त झ्याउ लाउँछ, दिवाकर सरसँग रिस उठ्छ के पढाएको होला भनेर, हैन? टेन्सन दियो भनेर खुरुक्क समरी भनिदिनु, हैन? नोट लेखाइदिनु, जाँचमा के आउँछ भनिदिनु, हामी पास गरेर पनि जान्छौँ. के को तना दिएको, हैन? शब्द के लागेको छ, पिक्चर ल्याएको छ, यस्तो बन्छ, के गरे आयो, हैन? राइट. Okay, read. In uplifted waves washed towards some pink roses. There is beautiful color imagery, flower imagery, plant imagery, nature imagery. No longer a neat and civilized hedge. Look, this writer is so clever. She first prepares you emotionally, and when you are emotionally moved and you are in a condition that you will believe whatever she says, then slowly she presents her argument to convince you. She is arguing, I feel so, you may disagree, that nature is not less important than urban development. So you should not destroy nature in the name of development. And to convince you to this argument that you cannot bring urban development at the cost of natural world, to convince you she first begins with the emotional appeal. As you go on reading, you start feeling the world of nature, and at one point, to your dismay, you learn that all these beautiful things she's talking about, they are no more there. They are no more there. And then you feel angry. Oh God, why this is happening? At one point you feel that all these beautiful things are not there. They were there once upon a time. Right? If you read like this, the society will change. And if you read for a passing exam, nothing will change, right? Okay. So no longer a neat and civilized haze. Look, no longer the haze is gone. No longer the neat and civilized haze. The good assignment for this essay will be, make a group of 5 people one day, and one Saturday walk by one river in Kathmandu, riverside, with a notebook, and simply walk and note down all the things you see in the river and all the feelings you have, and submit me. That will be a better assignment for you. Walk up the Bishnumati river from that Doban where she meets Bagmati, and go upward. And as you go up and up, you will see nature reclaiming. And if you reach the top of the Bishnumati, water will be clean. Begin from Chobar, Bagmati, and reach Bagdwar, and write a diary and describe what is Bagmati at Bagdwar and what is Bagmati at Chobar, and why. Then you will understand this essay. Bagmati is Bagmati in Sivapuri, and Bagmati becomes Dalmati when she comes to Chobar. Then you will understand the essay. So the haze is gone. Look, neat and civilized haze. Look the adjective. Civilized means well maintained. But a thorny ledge with darkness at his hem, now the burn dump. So do you see what marriage on a river does is, you will see that who went out? Who went out? Huh? She has a job, I guess, right? Yes. Yeah, that's the truth, bitter truth of life, right?
Yes, sir.
I feel so, I become so concerned. See? I wish I had $10 billion and could give you some money, leave the job and feed yourself, clothe yourself, and come to my class. Huh? But that's all wish only, imagination only, right? I wish you don't have to take a job and you give full time to study. And you study well and develop, right? But we have another reality. Okay. So what it does is, one technique in this essay you will see, one technique is comparison and contrast. Comparison and contrast. अरू कसलाई जानु परिन्छ म अहिले पठाइदिन्छु ल, मैले कसलाई तिमीले जानु परिन्छ है, तिमी जब छ है तिम्रो, ह?
Yes, but I will stay.
अरू कसलाई जानु परिन्छ? अरे जानु केही छैन, केही पर्दैन, जानु।
कहिलेकाहीँ चल छिटो जानुपर्छ।
ल ठिकै छ। So look what she's doing. There is something called foregrounding. So what she does, she brings beautiful imagery, abundance of beautiful imagery, and this burn dump, that is the ugly imagery. This burn dump is foregrounded. गोरो अनुहार भएको छोरी छ, उसले कालो टिका लगाए, सानो छ, टक्क देखिन्छ नि, कस्तो राम्रो देखिन्छ नि, किन त्यो कन्ट्रास्ट गर्यो नि, फोरग्राउन्ड भयो नि. So she places the ugly imagery of the burned dump surrounded by beautiful imagery, and you become alert, you become aware about the destruction of nature, because she is contrasting nature imagery with imagery of the burned dump, right? Move ahead. Now, another thing, if you see, now versus then. Now versus then. What was then? What is now? One technique in this says, what was there then? What is there now? Now the burned dump, move ahead, is no more. The old world had its necessities. Now another comparison is the old world versus the new world. Old world versus the new world. The old world had its necessities. Presently there are new ones, new necessities. And they are not so simply met, nor will the old parcels of land. In Nepali you have a word kita. Jagga ko kita number kati ho. The English word for kita is parcel. What is the parcel number of the land? See the picture. These are the parcels, the plots. The plots are parcels. The English word for kita number is parcel number. Okay. The old parcels of land suffice. On these few acres of land and more will be established the heartland of the town's sewage. So what is going on? The town has decided, the mayor has decided to build a new sewage system. The mayor has decided to build a new sewage system, and the writer saw that some digging is going on, and she wrote the essay. So the exigence for this essay is the mayor's decision for new construction there. She saw that the municipality has decided to make something there. They are digging, and she wrote the essay to talk about the change. Where the buried pipes will converge with the waste of our lives. Sorry for the troubling imagery, the human waste. Pipes will take our waste. What a sad hilarity. Look, read again. Where the buried pipes will converge with the waste of our lives. The pipes will carry dhal. Achi. Sorry for this word. They will carry achi, human achi. Right? Achi is a better word, right? You can easily talk among people, right? Or you can't, I don't know. What is the soft word for achi? What is a better word for achi? Gu is a bad word. It stings, right? Sorry. Okay. What a sad hilarity. I want to talk about flowers, but the necessity has become of our visitor-rich town how to deal with daily. Look, she says, I want to talk about flowers, right?